Good morning. Happy Monday. It is time for some Motivational Monday. My name is Christopher Donnell, the pastor here at Urbana United Methodist Church, and hope you had an awesome weekend. I just spent an amazing week at my seminary, United Theological Seminary down in Dayton, where I'm just completed my first year, or almost my first year, but I'm in the middle of it, my last semester of the first year, and we had a retreat this week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and we were there all day, each day, and then had a half day on Wednesday, and it was just an amazing time. Of worship and teaching and being in God's presence. And I was super encouraged just how I got to spend some time with others and Jesus, and it was really life giving. But leading up to this retreat, I did some Zoom calls with one of my classes, and when I heard about people planning for this retreat, it occurred to me how many people at my school attend online and live all over the country and would be traveling to this mandatory retreat to pass this class. Um, First off, it's pretty cool that you have a mandatory retreat to help you grow your relationship with Jesus as part of school. So that's awesome. But when I was starting to talk to some of my fellow students and learning that they were in Oregon and Virginia and Tennessee and Kentucky and all over the country, I realized very late in the game that probably everybody who's coming, A, is not serving at a church or has a ministry job, and B, not every church and ministry has the same capability as resources to send their pastor or ministry candidates to on a trip like this. And so I really felt impressed in my spirit that night to offer up our home to have somebody to stay, and also, since I lived close to Dayton, that I'd be driving every day to drive or pick up people from hotels or whatever to go to the retreat, since people would be flying in and didn't have either a place to stay or a vehicle to drive. And during that time, I was talking to one of my students, my friend named Na. Now, Na is from Burma, the tippy top of Burma, and his tribe is called the Kachin people, all the way up by the borders of Malaysia and China, and really close to the Himalayan mountains. And he's been in the States for about 18 years, serving his Kachin people who have come here because Burma has been in a civil war and is a pretty devastated country. But while I was listening to Na talk, I realized he works on a chicken farm, and he doesn't have a lot of resources at his church. And so I just really felt like the Lord was saying, you need to invite Na and to come and stay at our house. And I put the offer out there, and I never heard back from him. And then I found him at the retreat, and I said, "Do you have a place to stay?" He said, "No, I don't." His car was really rough. He had really bald tires, and even the tires were fraying, and the metal was showing in the tires. And so I really just felt impressed that we needed to help him. And so I offered up our home, and he absolutely said yes. We offered to help get his tires replaced on his car. And so the next 3 days, Na stayed at our house. Na stayed with me as we drove and talked, and we went to the retreat together. And I just was so encouraged by him and how that God's kingdom is moving in so many other places of the country and even the world. It really just, I know that God's kingdom is big and expansive, but when you don't see it all the time, it's hard to keep that in front of you and be reminded of that. And so I was just really blessed by Na, and we were able to help him, but he was also able to help open up my eyes to just how the Lord is working all around the world. And there was one night we were really tired after retreat, and he has several other Kachin friends who are students there at United, and there is a Kachin family in Kettering, and I was really tired and exhausted from the day. And he said, "Hey, let's go and have dinner at my friend's house." And this was about 6 o'clock, and I was just kind of ready to get home, knowing I really hadn't seen my family much and everything. But I really had no excuse. I talked to Becca. She's like, "No, we're already busy. We already got stuff going on tonight." And so I really felt like I should just go. And so I went to this house, and it was a small house with a lot of people in it. And but the what was most full in that house was God's love and God's presence. And what was really funny is right before, well, as everybody was gathering for dinner in the living room, getting ready to go to the kitchen, Na told me it's time for me to give a sermon before preaching or before eating. And so I was put on the spot to share some scripture and share some encouraging words of Jesus. And then we had a whole devotional time and prayer time and worship time, and I was just like really blessed by that. And that family was amazing. How they just tried to honor me. They made me sit at the head of the table. They kept forcing food on my plate, and I walked away very full with my stomach, but also my heart. And I also loved how my family got to experience NAW and learn a different culture and learn about how God has moved in his family and his calling and his church. And all my girls and my wife were just so impressed and blessed by NAW. And it was just an amazing experience. But the key motivation here is God's kingdom is so big. It's bigger than we can even comprehend. It's crosses time. God's kingdom crosses time. God's kingdom crosses history. God's kingdom crosses borders. God's kingdom crosses culture, and God's kingdom crosses nation. And it was just a reminder in our intense world that we live in right now. Who does our allegiance lie to? Is it our systems? Is it our preferences? Is it our comfort? Or is it the king of the best kingdom, the mightiest kingdom, King Jesus? So my motivation for you today is ask God to expand your own vision of his kingdom and how it's working in and around the world. And then ask the question, how can you participate in that kingdom right where you are? I hope you have an awesome week, and we'll see you next time.